No! No! No!
Hi there. Thanks for joining me for another episode of Mr. Ed Draws, and in this episode I wanted to dive into a program called Brythm that I created in P5JS that will allow artists, or anyone basically, to create algorithmic art using the algorithms that I put together in this application. So I wanted to dive into a little bit of what is going on so that if you do want to use this program, you'll have a little bit of a head start, but you don't have to know really anything about the program in order to use it. You can just push buttons, mess around with the sliders, and come up with your own artwork. But if you wanted to be more deliberate about it, it helps to know what is actually going on, and that's what this video is about. So I hope you'll stick around for that, and there's some artwork that I created with this application at the end of the video. Alright, you have two types of brushes in this program, and they're controlled with the move button down there. The first brush is a single object that moves around like a worm, like you see here. And then if you hit move again, it will switch to multiple objects that will flock around like a fish or a bird. Some of the brushes take up a lot of processing, so when you create multiple instances of them, it slows the program down a lot. That's why these groupings of objects tend to move a little bit slower depending on the kind of brush that you have, which leads me to my next thing. There are buttons B1 through B6. That's your brush types. Your first brush is a glass fragments or broken fragments. Your second brush is bubbles. Your third brush is a thin worm, just a line. And then your fourth brush is a combination of brush 1 and brush 3. Brush number 5 is a combination of brush 2 and brush 3. And then brush number 6 is like a woolly worm. And those are your objects that you get to play with. And you can have just one instance, like I said, moving around like a worm, or you can have multiple instances of these brush types flocking and swimming around the screen. In addition to the brush, you can control the color with the sliders. The first slider is for the intensity or the alpha, and then the other three are for your red, green, and blue. And if you click the color switch, it activates those colors, or basically sets the sine wave values to those colors in the objects. And then if you hit the canvas, it will set the canvas to the background color to whatever those sliders are set on. So even though you'll have the slider set on like full red and no blue or green, and you hit color, the object may not be that on that red. It's actually computed into the sine wave, so it's going to move through the red first, and then through the green, and then through the blue, and the same with the other one. So if you have the green turned all the way up, it's going to start with the green and then move through those. So that kind of gives you some indication of how it's cycling through colors, and it's just doing a sine wave. It's going back and forth through the colors, and each color is offset slightly so that you can generate the different palettes, like your earthy tones or your pastels or your brilliant like primaries. So that's basically the program in a nutshell. And you can clear the screen, you can save the program, you can click the fade, which will just kind of leave a partial trail. Kind of looks like it's fading slowly, I guess. This is the only way I can describe that. Or you can just look at the objects with nothing, no tracing at all, just the clean printed objects. And that's with the no trace button. So I think I covered all of them. Oh, and then the random button will switch between brushes randomly. And if you hit stop, it stops the program. Press any key, it restarts the program. On mobile devices, it will stop the program, and then to restart the program, you have to back out and reload the page. And if you want to learn more about this program, stay tuned. You can play it yourself. But I wanted to take care of some business first. If you aren't subscribed already, and if you haven't hit the bell, do that now. Here's your time to hit that. Click, ding, we got it. All right. Here's some of the artwork I created with Brythm. Just preliminary. I've only been playing around with this program for a couple hours, and you can see what I've been able to create here, and I hope you will want to create some of your own art. So if you want to find some of this, just follow me on social media. Go to my Facebook page. You'll find links to This program here, you can run it right inside the Chrome browser on your smartphone or your device or your desktop computer. I hope you've enjoyed this episode as much as I've enjoyed making it, and as always, until next time, you guys, take care.